Hello, everyone. I can't tell you how happy I am to be back in my hometown and to have been selected the superintendent of the Scranton School District. I am excited about the work ahead, and I understand there is a lot of heavy lifting, and I'm prepared to do it. So I want to just begin. I'm eager to hear your questions, and I will entertain questions. Who might have the first question?
What do you think is the special enhancement or improvement that you specifically can bring to the district?
Well, my experience and training speaks for itself. I can bring a lot to Scranton School District in the form of 4 specific areas. I'm looking to improve student achievement. We all want what's best for our students, and no matter how well they're doing, we all want more. I'm looking at our faculty, staff, and leaders to try to build a strong, solid bench of educators and support staff and leaders and provide them with the support they need to do the job that I'm here to get completed. I'm also looking at systems and processes. The schools cannot work without support from the central office. So I want to be sure that all our systems and processes are in place, that we're working efficiently and effectively to serve our schools. And finally, I want to see a welcoming culture in the Scranton School District where people feel valued, our employees are recognized, parents are engaged in the education process, and most importantly, our students look forward to coming to school every day. Anything else?
What do you think your biggest strength is?
Leadership, strategic planning, and accountability.
What values do you think from Atlanta and your experiences down there could help you in an urban school district like Scranton?
Yes. Urban school districts are a little bit different in that the students we deal with are different. And so we need to be prepared to address their needs. And in Atlanta, we had a large student population that came from very low socioeconomic families, and we put things in place to support those families, to provide some early education opportunities. I believe that that's where it all needs to begin, and really to engage the parents throughout the educational experience. And that reaching out, going into the communities, know who you're serving, is one of the things that I feel I'll be able to bring.
Scranton obviously has a lot of neighborhood schools.
Yes.
Do you see that as important to continue moving forward, as something that maybe these kids should be in a larger facility? What do you think about that?
Well, I think when you have an urban school district, or neighborhood schools are very important, because to reach all of the people that you need to reach and to touch, having smaller community schools is an excellent concept. Of course, budget comes into play, and sometimes you may have to consolidate some schools in order to serve the students best.
How do you plan on helping test scores? Obviously, there are benchmarks as superintendent that you're going to have to be judged on. Mm-hmm. Any action plans moving forward immediately?
Well, right now, I'm here to evaluate. My pre-entry into the district is to look at all of the test data, all of the information that we have available to us, and then I'll begin to shape a plan.
When you went through your career in education in years past, did you ever say, it would be great to go back to Scranton and be able to help?
I've always considered Scranton my home, and this opportunity came up, and it was the right time in my life for me to come back and contribute to what I received from Scranton School District. I attended the Scranton School District. and graduated from here. I experienced caring, wonderful people, great teachers, and I was successful. And I want that for every student in the Scranton School District.
What's your leadership style? One of your predecessors, most recently, he was, if there was an emergency, he was there. Do you see yourself more in an administrative role, or somebody that's going to be in these buildings, talking with students, talking to parents?
I see myself as a collaborative leader, and I see myself visiting the schools, learning about the students and the different teacher expectations and challenges. When there is an emergency, and this is very much how I feel, I will have a well-trained staff to go out into the schools and handle the emergency there while I am in the central office running and leading a command center.
What would you want to say to parents that are going to be seeing you for the first time right now? What do you want to say to them and to even the students?
Well, first let me address the students. Students of Scranton School District, I am thrilled to be here, and I am here to support you. Parents, I'm looking forward to working with you and having you engaged in the educational process. I want to meet you, and I will be out there looking to meet you and learn who you are and help you to address the needs that you find are difficult in raising your children through the educational process.
When's your first day on the job? Your first official day?
My first official day will be July 1. Prior to July 1, I will be in the district doing what I'm calling my pre-entry plan. I am here, I will review documents, and then I can't wait to go on what I call my listening tour, where I will be visiting the schools, meeting the leaders, the teachers, and the students, and then getting out into the community and learning about the expectations they might have of the Scranton School District and the new superintendent. After that, I'm going to sit down and begin to develop a plan and an execution strategy, and then ensure that everyone is informed and everyone is on board, because it's going to take more than just me. I'm looking for parent, community, student, and staff involvement.
When will that listening tour take place, do you think? Obviously, if you come in July, it's summertime. Will that happen first thing in the fall, or
Yes.
will you do it during the summer?
My listening tour will actually begin in the fall when I get out into the schools. Prior to that, I'll be visiting the community, learning and re-familiarizing myself with who's out there, who does what, and what they see the needs of the Scranton School District, and I'll be recruiting them. I'm going to look for community and partner support.
Can you address the criticism that some people have had, obviously, with the school board president, a familial relation by marriage? Do you
I can address that. Our families have a distant connection, and in the community we grew up in, all our families were close. It was a different time, and we all played together, ate together, our parents worked together, and that is what the connection is.
Do you consider Cy a relative to you?
I don't consider him a relative to me, but I do consider him a great supporter of the Scranton School District. And what is happening now is I am here not to focus on my relationship with Mr. Dwight. I am here to focus on the children.
Moving forward.
Absolutely.
What do you hope your trademark will be?
I hope that I will be able to bring a culture of collaboration, cooperation, and professional learning to the Scranton School District, all aimed at supporting the children.
Is there anything that you've noticed right off the bat that's missing right now that could be improved immediately?
Not really. I'm too excited about being here and walking in this building again and seeing the high school I graduated from right across the street. And I will say I've heard from many, many people in the area who I've known way in the past, and I've gotten a great big welcome home. And that's really what I'm concentrating on now.
Any of them in this room?
Well, I do have someone in this room that I will introduce to you. My husband is here with me, Fred Kirijan. And Fred and I have been together for a long time, and he has supported my efforts in public education. And I'm happy to share this with him. Fred and I both have brothers and sisters in the area, and we're so looking to come back and being a part of the community again.
And maybe lastly for me, a lot of people are going to make, you're the first female superintendent of the Scranton School District. Does that matter to you, or is it, should we be focused on that?
Well, what I feel is that prior to me coming, there have been many people who filled the seat who did great things for the Scranton School District. If I can add to their legacy, that is what I'm looking to do. Being a woman really is insignificant. Yes.
The school district, as you know, has a lot of financial concerns right now.
Yes.
What is your background in finances, and how can you address some of the budget shortfalls?
Well, I'm not going to give you specifics about how I can address the budget shortfalls. I will tell you, in the large school districts I have worked in, we found ourselves in the same situation that the Scranton School District and many others across the nation find themselves in. And so what we need to do, and what I will focus on, is maximizing the resources we have and putting as much of those resources into teaching and learning as I can, making sure that we're taking advantage of all of the federal monies that are available to us, and finally, looking for other revenue sources to bring into the district through partnerships and other avenues.
The population of the school district is changing, and with that change comes, more low-income students, more ESL students, more special education students. So what kind of background do you have in those areas, and how can you make sure they're getting the education they deserve?
That's a great question, because when I started my career in education in Georgia, I worked for a school district that did not have a diversity of any kind. And in the 20 years that I was there, we were changing, and we had to make changes to grow with the change. Those skills and abilities I have taken with me to Atlanta Public Schools, which is one of the most diverse school districts in Georgia. And so the kinds of things that we do is look at what makes best schools and focus on them and prioritize what is most important. And I mentioned a few before. We need to look at early education. We need to engage parents and families, actually, in the education process. And we need to do a great job of preparing our teachers who are facing these students in the classroom, and make sure that they understand and believe that all children can learn. And that's basically what we've done before and what I'll be hoping to do here.
The school district's teachers union, the contract expires at the end of August.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Georgia doesn't have teachers unions, right? Or at least they don't allow the collective bargaining.
We're a right-to-work state in Georgia.
And so do you have experience working with unions, or?
The experience I have is having taught here for 7 years prior to moving to Georgia, being involved in that process. Also, in my superintendent preparation programs, we have actually done a lot of work in those areas. I do have a network of people who work in Pennsylvania at a superintendent's level who I will depend on for mentoring and networking. And most of all, I want to make it clear that I see the unions as partners and not an adversarial type relationship. And so I will be working on nurturing those relationships and hopefully getting everybody on board to support the educational program. We're all teachers, we're all board members, we're all superintendents for one reason, and that is to support children. And so I will nurture that and hope that that will help us in our relationships.
So you've been gone from the area for what, about 30 to 40 years or so?
No, I think it's about 40
About
years.
40 years. So I'm sure you have a lot to do to prepare to move back to the area. But how did, growing up in Scranton, attending the Scranton School District, how do you think that shaped your career?
Well, I mentioned that just a little earlier. I attended school here in the Scranton School District. I was surrounded by wonderful teachers, support staff, principals in the school district. My first interest in becoming an educator was when I was in high school and influenced greatly by my high school principal. And that's what I want for the students of Atlanta. The students of Pennsylvania, I want them to know that anything is possible and that they can reach for the stars, and we will give them the background to get them there.
And why is this the right choice at this time in your career to come back here?
Oh, this is the perfect time. I have 31 years of experience in education in Georgia. I was at Atlanta Public Schools. I feel like I completed my mission there. I am at the time in my life where I'm free to go wherever I want. I didn't choose an island somewhere. I chose coming back to my hometown, reconnecting with everyone, becoming a part of the community, and actually enjoying working in the Scranton School District. Any other questions? All right then, I thank you very much. I want you to know I'm looking forward to talking with you again, and for you in the future to have wonderful things to report about the Scranton School District. And thank you very much for coming today and allowing me this opportunity. Thank you.